Good morning, Infinity. I want to welcome you to our Sunday service. I'm Jeff Obafemi-Carr, the Chief Spiritual Officer of the Infinity Fellowship. And whether you're joining us live or you're joining us on the replay, we want to welcome you into this morning's service. We'll have a few announcements first, so that gives you an opportunity to write some things down that are happening here at Infinity, but it also gives you an opportunity to gather the family together, to gather the friends together. If you're new to Infinity, hit like or subscribe. If you're like us on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. And we're guaranteeing you're going to have the spiritual experience of your life today. If you're brand new, we're going to welcome you in a little bit later. But for right now, welcome to Infinity. Welcome home. Good morning, Infinity. I'm excited to welcome everyone back into the core of consciousness and the apex of authenticity. So glad you're joining us today. So glad that you're taking the time to sit in a space of spiritual growth and development. Here at the Infinity Fellowship, we welcome you in, and we begin our space with prayer and meditation. We invite you in this sacred space today, wherever you are, in your living room, in your kitchen, in your car, if you're able to. Just begin to slow your breath. We know some of you are journeying today. You're on a trip. You're traveling from one place to another. We speak the grace and the safety into your life with travel. So don't close your eyes. Just breathe with us. But if you're in a space where you can sit and be still for a moment, we invite you to find that stillness today, because that stillness is a vibration. It is a vibration of love. It is a vibration of power. It is a vibration of enlightenment. And so I invite you in this space today to just simply begin to breathe. I know you may have been through some things this week that made you pant with your breath. You know how you get out of breath when things come against you and you just find yourself saying, I'm just exasperated. Yes, you'll be more exasperated, because the canine breathing, the panting, all that does is accelerate the adrenaline in your body. So we slow that adrenaline. We slow the fight, flight, or freeze reflex when we simply inhale and exhale. Inhale Now exhale to release. Good. Give me another good deep breath like that. Inhale. Pause it at the top. Exhale to release and allow your eyes to gently close if you're able. Inhaling the good. Holding that good within you. Exhaling and releasing the things that no longer serve us. All hearts focused in this moment. Breathing in the healing. Holding the thanksgiving. Exhaling the regret. Continuing to breathe like this as we center ourselves in the joyful remembrance of being present right now. As thoughts are coming into our consciousness, as to-do lists are appearing, we don't judge our natural tendencies to create these lists and to have these thoughts. We notice the thoughts and we exhale them in the breath with no judgment. Inhaling, pausing, exhaling, releasing. Embracing this love light energy. Embracing this gift that animates us today, that unifies us with our fellow human beings, that unifies ourselves in the dance of the foliage and flora and fauna and the trees and the skies that give us life, unifying us with the universe. In the acceptance of this gift of life and consciousness, acknowledging that all is well. And as we have paused in this sacred vibration, we ask that all eyes now be closed, all heads now be bowed, all hearts now be open. As we now pour this energy into realignment for manifestation, begin to focus that energy on the God of your personal acceptance and understanding. We're not thinking about what names other people may use. The name that you use is the name that you focus on now. The image that you use is the image that you focus on now. The light energy that you use that gives you life is what you focus on now. That is the divine source, the universal energy that we speak to in this moment. All wise, all knowing, all loving God, we come to you today in thanksgiving and gratitude. Thank you for always being a present God in our space. Thank you for the quest to know you, the quest to walk in your light and your love that is called the human existence. We thank you for this opportunity to gather here at the Infinity Fellowship from all over the world, digitally, gathering in this cosmic space of high vibration to give thanks. Thank you for what we have come through this week. Thank you for the encounters that have given us the contrast that have grown our spiritual muscles. Thank you for the drama that we faced this week. We've all had some drama in our lives, but the drama reveals a deeper story, and that story is a long arc of success. Thank you for the lessons learned. Thank you for the victories gained. Thank you for the gift of pulling the future into the present by focusing on the good. Thank you for those who are traveling today. Extend to them grace. Thank you for those who came off the operating table this week. Thank you for Sister Latia and the entire Stewart family who came through their operation with flying colors. Thank you for gifting the hands of the surgeons with purpose and love and power. Thank you for the family that has surrounded them, for this fellowship that has sent their prayers for this success. Thank you for young Daniel, our son, who also went through the same type of thing on Thursday and came through with flying colors. Thank you for the family and friends that surrounded him as he is up and walking and feeling 100% now. Thank you for those in this space. For those in this space who continue to seek you, continue to reveal that you are always here. We generate this gratitude today, and we speak that our speaker today, Sister Aya Fubara Eneli, will come and share something that will move someone to get up off their seats and step into their best life. Thank you for the gift of the ancestors and the stories that they share. Thank you for the gift of being in this life right now, walking in purpose. I speak this in gratitude. And for things we cannot remember or do not come into our consciousness right now, we thank you in advance for those manifestations, for every good thing, every new open door that is coming this week for us, for surprise abundance that's coming from expected and unexpected places. We speak and claim it right now in our lives. Bless these infinite streamers here. We speak these things and know these things to be true, and we proclaim them with the confidence of being made in your image and likeness. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Ashe. And so it is. Inhale. Exhale to release. And so it is. It's now time for the pouring of our libations. So get yourself ready to celebrate your ancestors. As we are now prepared to pour our libations, as we stand at the altar, at Infinity, those of you who know family, those of you who are not knowing because you're brand new, we celebrate and recognize the ancestors as a part of our spiritual ritual every single Sunday. We pour libations. The pouring of libations is a ritual act. We've seen it for thousands of generations. It is the pouring out of water into the earth. The water, the life, the earth where we came from, where our bodies shall return. Because regardless of what name you use for our Creator, we recognize that we are in earthly shells right now. This is our earth suit, as we say, as Infinity. We also know that we are higher than that. We are vibrational energy. So guess what happens? When we transition out of this earth suit, we go into the space of freedom. By pouring libations, we recognize that that circuit is connected always. So this is a space of memory. So type the names of your ancestors in the box today so that we can remember them, so that we can honor them, so that we can make sure we connect that circuit for and with you. Pouring libations is something that is so popular, we didn't even know it when we were little. We would see the old fellas on the corner with a fifth, and after they cracked the fifth open, they poured out a little bit off the top. And we said, why are they doing that? And somebody said, this is for the brothers who ain't here. That's libations too. You see, this ritual stays with us because we recognize that we are empowered, we stand taller because we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And if you didn't know that, ask the oldest person in your family to tell you about their stories. You will gain an appreciation for those who came before you. So we pour today in honor of those names that are coming in on the screen, in honor of those names that are popping into your consciousness right now, in honor of those names and those faces, known and unknown, that come into our spirit and inspire us and lift us and take us to higher heights and gain an understanding through us that we are a part of a continual chain going back to time immemorial, and we're here for a purpose and a reason. Our altar represents the four elements: the fire, the water, the air, and the earth. And so we pour. And we use the Yoruba word ashe. When you hear people say that, ashe is a wonderful multi-layered word. It means essence, it means spirit, it means breath. It is also a commandment of power, and so it is. So every time we pour, we utilize that word as a pronouncement of the present, and so it is. Cool water, freshen our spirits, freshen and consecrate this house, freshen our collective ancestors. We give praises to Almighty Mother, Father God, divine source and creation. Grant to us peace and prosperity. Ashe. So we pour today to the energies of the direction of the north, where we find ourselves grounded at 12 o'clock, standing upright on the square, dealing in all square things, dealing and moving through the world in right angles, making the right choices at the crossroads. Ashe. To the energy of the south, that energy that grounds us in that space, understanding that as we flow, we grow. Ashe. To the energies of the east and the space of the rising sun, letting us know that everything continues to be in a cycle. And if you didn't get to it now, you always get a chance in the morning. The elders used to say, weeping may endure through the night, but joy comes in the morning, as we see it on the eastern horizon. Ashe. To the energies of the west, where the sunrise gives way to the lunar powers of the moon, the divine feminine energy of the universe, reminding us that as we are consecrated in that womb, we are waiting. When we emerge into this space, this world does not owe us anything, but we owe something to the world. And that is the purpose that we walk in. Ashe. To the energy below us, the grounding energy. Grounding energy that reminds us to take our shoes off and step on Mother Earth every now and then, so we can be reminded that the concrete between us doesn't separate us from our groundings of who we are. Ashe. To the energy above us, that inspirational energy when we look to the skies and see the cosmos and see the clouds and feel and breathe the fresh air and know that we are alive, that essence of being lifted higher. Ashe. And to the energy that brings it all together in the final direction, the sixth direction in the Lakota Sioux tradition, in the First Nations people direction, that crossroads where they all intersect, and that is the space of the heart. Next week, we do the heart chakra. We have that energy coming through Yoga Sunday next week. But for right now, it's that space of the heart, that energy that connects every single thing, that heart of love, that heart of remembrance, the space where you write the lessons that you learn every single day, the spiritual teachings that you absorb in this place, that secret space where it's hidden and then opens you to travel in all directions. And so it is. Ashe. We recognize the names coming in today, and we pause in this moment. For those of you who are driving or cannot type, call their names aloud as we pour these next few pours of water. To the children in the womb, world, and yet unborn, we proclaim together the goodness of being present today. The open portal now with our Creator, the acknowledgement of the presence of our ancestors and who we are, pulling them all together in the heart center. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o, and so it is. Good morning, Infinity. I love to say good morning. Sister Kanita's in the house. What's happening? You good?
I'm good.
How you feeling?
I feel good.
I feel good.
How you feel?
I feel good.
Good.
And I know that I would.
I just got it.
Feel good. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Slow
like,
morning.
where's he going? Where's he
know
going?
that I'm
I
good
got you.
now.
Now.
So good. So good. I got a you. All right. Dab it in there. Y'all, we're in the space today. What an awesome moment to welcome you in. And of course, for those of you who may have just tuned in, I'm Jeff Obafemi-Card, the Chief Spiritual Officer at the Infinity Fellowship. And this is the moment where we get to say good morning to you. We say good morning to you wherever you are in the world. We say good morning to you, whatever you might be doing. If you can pause and say good morning back, it would be awesome. Say good morning in the chat box. Say good morning whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Let us know where you're watching us from. And our extra challenge, this is how we do it. We generate gratitude at Infinity. So we want you to type one thing that you are grateful for. Just one thing. It may have been that you sat up in the bed right today. It may have been that your fingernail didn't break. It may have been something simple. But whatever it is, I guarantee you, you're going to participate in generating a field of gratitude that is global. So get in on this thing. Good morning to you. We're going to get some music on and let you sing our song with us. We're going to shout you out. Thank you, Sister Kanitha.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you and you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we say da 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 good morning to you. Hey y'all, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning.
All right. So let's look at what we got here, y'all. We got the split screen. All of you all over the world, do y'all see some of the things that are coming in that people are grateful for on the screen with you? I know, and if you're watching on your phone, some of those things may be a little bit small, so I'm going to read some of them as they pop in. I've got Rhonda coming in. Ankh and Ma'at that balance life and balance and justice in there. Grateful for Aya, Fubara, and Eneli. So are we. It's going to be a great day, isn't it, sis? It's going to be great. Sister Angela's in the house. Sister Terrell, Brother Terrell Lindsay is in the house. Terrell and Tashana. Grateful to have y'all in from Mesa, Arizona. Thankful for the voices of Infinity who reminded me everything's going my way. After I broke my phone. Come on through now. Calmed my spirit. Calmed my spirit. I love it. Grateful to Shauna, grateful for the parenting tools and resources available to us to do something different from the norm while raising up 3 black children. I love it.
Yes.
That's what we've got. We got some great tools coming today, too, that are in that space. So we're grateful in this space. We got the real deal grateful for. Dr. Greg Carr, yes, because Greg is one of Greg's our intellectual partner in this space, right? Yes. Greg brings the history, we bring the spirit. And his knowledge is just broad to see what's going on. If y'all haven't joined Narrative, go join Narrative. Go watch In Class with Carr. We all have a wonderful time here. We're looking forward to this year. Later this year, we're going to do a part 2 of the Carr brothers. We had such a successful time being in split screen, and people kept saying, I didn't know there were 2 of them.
Yes.
My eyes messed up, but we're going to bring that back. We're going to bring that energy into it. So grateful for that knowledge and being able to get that space. Earl is in the house. Grateful for finding this broadcast and ministry. We're grateful for you too, Earl. Grateful as always for Sister Rosetta, who always brings us such amazing energy. Sister Rosetta, I'm putting in my request. We got 5 Sundays this month, don't we? We got 5 Sundays. So you know what that means, right? We're going to want to have our 3rd string. So whatever song you're going to share with the world through Infinity, we want to see that. But grateful, right from the south side of Chicago, coming into the space. Grateful for the breath of life and being able to feel compassion for others, for survivors in Haiti. Yes, another earthquake in Haiti. We want to make sure that our friends down there, to Yanel Ismail, hopefully if you get this message or you're watching, brother, we love you. We love you and all of our young brothers and sisters there. There is an orphanage that we've traveled to with Brother Dwayne Jones in Memphis, Tennessee, of Dwayne Jones Construction. We went down. That's where we got the inspiration to build tiny houses in Nashville. But to Yanel Ismail and the orphans there at the orphanage, we're definitely going to be checking in on you. I've personally been down there twice with Dwayne to look out for you guys. If we have to get down there a 3rd time, we'll figure out what we need to do. So sending love to everyone in Haiti. And everyone who survived and who's dealing with not just the earthquakes, but the political earthquakes that are happening there as well. So we're sending resolution, we're sending peace, we're sending inspiration your way, and know that you are covered globally from this space. Sister Michelle Mayberry is in the house from West Texas. Grateful for receiving much needed rain yesterday and today. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Deep in the heart of Texas. We are in this space. Lab is in the space. Earl, everybody's talking. Candace Dungy's in the space. Grateful for finally being able to attend your service live. Sister Candace, what's going on? Come on, we're ready. We're ready. We got to find some ways to put this music in this space, too. So we're sending love to you, the entire Dungy family. I had the CD clip in my pocket just yesterday. That's a message so you know. Charles Dungy, the great jazz legend, one of our ancestors. We called his name today. We are in this space with the vibration. Glad to have you in the place now. Earl is in the place. Rosetta's in the place. Candace is in the place. We've got, I see so many people that I can't keep up. So that's a good sign, isn't it? That's a good sign. So good morning to you in this space. We are ready for our revelation today. For our statement of Infinitude. For those of you who are new to Infinity, we want to make sure you understand what it is that we do here. We have a core set of agreements, and we call that Infinitude. People say, well, how do you bring people together across religious lines, have spiritual growth and development? It's not easy, but it is a calling, and it is a great calling. And that calling is centered around a core set of agreements, not necessarily beliefs. You know, when you have believers and non-believers, you can fall on all sides of the political spectrum. That's why we have so much division in the country today, because people are convincing each other to believe in them, to believe in their standpoint. When you have belief is what exists in absence of provable fact. So when you can't prove something, you can always have somebody believe it. And if somebody believes it long enough and strong enough, they will fight for that belief. Here at Infinity, we want you to see fruit in your life through spiritual practice. So we want you to be able to deal factually with things that change your life. We want you to come to this space on Sundays to listen to the tools, to absorb the practices, and then to report on how those practices have borne fruit in your life. If you are in a space that is not bearing fruit in your life, we invite you into the space of infinity. This space has opened up for us since we've been globally broadcasting during the pandemic. So we've been able to have a lot of people come into this loving space and say, I feel great here. I love this energy here. I feel uplifted here. I decided to change my mindset here. I decided to walk in my purpose here. I decided to make a change on my trajectory here. Here are the results. That's a good thing. And if you don't find results in this space, I'll help you find a place that will help you get results. And as such, we came up with spirit-led energy that gave us a core set of not beliefs, but agreements. And those agreements allow us, no matter what our faith tradition is, no matter what we call our God of our creation and our understanding, we come together around agreements that allow us to work together in conjunction. So our statement of infinitude, our sister, leading lady, Sister Kenitha Carr, and so it is.
Thank you, Rev. All right. Well, good morning to you all. I feel your energy. I can feel it like it's coming through the screen. So good morning. You know, I like to remind you of a couple of things at Infinity every Sunday. One, here at Infinity, we don't tell you how or what to call or how to define the God of your own personal acceptance and understanding. That is an intensely personal and beautiful relationship. Here at Infinity, we simply affirm your unique connection. Number two, whatever you call that source energy, you'll hear us say God interchangeably with the universe, divine source. What you see around you, baby, it was the proof that it was showing off when you were created after the same image and likeness. And so now it's time to speak. Allow the core agreements that bring us together at infinity. We call that infinitude. Infinitude is defined in the dictionary as the quality of being infinite, or there it is, having no limit. We have a unique mix of faith backgrounds at Infinity, but what centers us is the spirituality we all share in common. For us, infinitude is defined as infinity with an attitude, and that attitude is gratitude. And the snap you just heard is the spiritual practice that gives us life and meaning. Snap is on our screen, and we recommend you take some time to meditate on both it and our statement of infinity by visiting our website at myif.org. The S in SNAP is for spirituality that transcends religion and connects you to the God of your own understanding. The N is for nurturing of ourselves and others, mind, body, and spirit. The A is for action, because we take action on our callings and walk in our divine purpose every day. And finally, y'all, the P is for the proof. We need some proof that our spiritual practices manifest fruit in our lives through the building and maintaining of healthy and prosperous families, relationships, careers, and dreams. We are grateful that you all are here as unique manifestations of our Creator, the loving, living spirit of our commonality, the divine source of all creation, perceived by many names, yet known by only one energy. I invite you to join us in the affirmation of our statement of infinitude. We agree that we are beings of pure, eternal spirit, birthed from the creative potential of the universe, with all the powers of the Creator inherent within us. We embrace the innate goodness of humankind and an abundant creation that provides for us through the seeds that we plant in our everyday lives. We acknowledge that who we are is housed in a temporary biological organism, and as such, it is our responsibility to take care of it, because it will only last for a precious window of time. As we nurture ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, we commit to provide like acts of nurturing for our fellow brothers and sisters of the world we live in, embracing all regardless of religious faith, skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic background. All are truly welcome at Infinity. We agree and accept that various religions exist as a unique opportunity for humanity to get to know one another.
through meaningful conversations that seek to explore the core concepts we share in common. It is the application of ancient wisdom, scientific discovery, and spiritual practices, both physical and metaphysical, that will lead us closer together as a human family. We commit to exist now and ever as a beloved community.
Let it be so, according to the many ancient terms of affirmation. Amen. Amin.
Amin.
Hotep.
Hotep.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. And so it is in this space. We invite you today, y'all, to be at home. Be at home. If you are a first-time visitor at Infinity today, we want to welcome you during this time. We want to let you know that we see you for who you truly are. Because this is a wonderful day that the God of your personal acceptance, I wonder what name you use. You remember the days when you used to fight over what the name was? Remember when you say, well, I do Jesus, I do Jehovah, I do Yah, I do Yahweh, I do Allah, I do Amun, I do Amun-Ra, I do the concept of Olodumare, I do Olorun, and you went back and forth. Guess what? You don't have to go back and forth here, because the essence of that divine source doesn't change, regardless of what name we little bitty human beings put on top of it. But you've reached a point where all of those spaces intersect. And the question is, what do you do with that energy now? How do you embrace that energy? We see you today in this moment, not as a human being who showed up to have a spiritual experience. It's the other way around. You are an eternal spirit who is navigating the human experience just like the rest of us. So we invite you in this space today to type first time. If you're a first time visitor, go ahead and type first time in the box. Watch what will happen. People will talk back to you. People will say, welcome home. People will say, I see you shining. People will send you hearts and muscle arms and prayer hands and high five hands, whichever your interpretation of that symbol is. They will send it to you to welcome you into this space. This is the space where you're taught to freely pursue who you are with practical tools in a space of love. Your tradition is respected here. It is embraced here. Your shade, your color of your skin, your ethnic origin, it's all embraced here. You heard that in the statement of Infinitude. So we invite you in this space as you are letting us know that it's your first time. And even if you're shy, we can feel that new energy today. And so we welcome you here. We say our visitors welcome, which allows us to let you know that we see the real you. So wherever you are in the world, wherever you're receiving this from, we want you to just simply place your hands on your heart or open your palms to the sky. And Infinity folk, if you got people gathered in your house today, if you got friends around, we want you to turn to somebody. If you're there with your husband, your wife, your partner, your friend, turn to the people in your house. If your kids are running around, stop them and say, come here right now. I got something to say to you. I want you to hear. Place your hands up. And Infinity folks, y'all know we say it every week and we mean it. Take a deep breath with me. Exhale, release. If you're around people, take a long look at them. See the beauty in their face and their spirit. If you're a room by yourself, reflect on yourself in the mirror today and how awesome you are. How beautiful it is to be you. How powerful it is to be you. I see you today and I want you to hear. So I'm going to say this and you repeat after me. We send this cycle back to each other. If you're near somebody, you repeat it to them. I see you. But you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit You're more than what's on the outside. You are a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me, where I can let you know, if nobody else does today, that you are not alone. I'm with you, we're with you, and you are at home. I see when you are. You're in the right now, baby. You are so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I came here to do the same thing. So we're going to help each other out. All right? I know the real you. And I see you shining today. I feel you shining today. So welcome to infinity. Welcome home. Asheo. Pass your high fives out. Hey, get your dance on. Feel that energy, y'all. Yeah, feel it. Feel the energy, y'all. Feel the energy, y'all. Feel the energy, y'all. Embrace it, y'all. Feel the energy, y'all. Yeah. Ride that for a minute. Shake it out. Stand up, move around a little bit. Get ready for it. As we are rocking and rolling with so much souling, we carry that energy into our sacred giving. Giving is a part of any ritual, y'all. It's great. It's how we not only grow spiritually, but it's also how we pay the bills. Notice that I said grow spiritually first. We don't give at a space of obligation of, oh, we got to do this because we got to make sure we take the house note and we got to pay the services for the electric and the bill. That's all great. But giving is a personal spiritual practice. You want to be in alignment with the universe. So I ask, how good has God been to you? Are you breathing now? Are you happy you found this space? Are you excited that you are with like-minded people who recognize that science and religion don't have to be separate? Are you grateful to recognize and realize that intellectualism is not the enemy of success and grassroots knowledge and wisdom? Hey, it all fits together. That's what the Infinity Fellowship is. And I am personally grateful to each and every one of you every single week when it's time to give. Those of you who pour into this space, that pour so much into you. Those of you who have adopted the spiritual practice of tithing, giving 10% of what you received at a given point to the place where you receive your spiritual food. I know you've seen the benefits. I've seen the benefits. From the ancient practice to the Kemetic temples of giving your first fruits, to the ancient West African traditions of bearing the first fruits from what you brought in to give to the sacred and divine. This has come through thousands of generations as a practice. For those of you who give in the moment and say, hey, here's what the Spirit has moved me to contribute to this space and this ministry. We let you know right now that you are appreciated. And we speak and hope that we continue to pour energy into you so that you can have the spiritual tools that you need to be successful. And we give thanks for you to adopt the spiritual practice of giving, first and foremost for you, because it is a spiritual practice for me when I pause and say, what has been afforded me? I've got great friends. I got a great family. I've got a wonderful spiritual community that looks out for me, and we all lean on each other for support, and we get it. So giving back with energy, which is what money is, it's simply energy that lets me know what's important in my life. I will pour it into the spiritual community. I will pour it into the books. I will pour it into the spaces that feed me. So I will speak that you are in alignment with that energy now. As we prepare for giving, giving is very simple here online. You can give via Cash App. You can give via PayPal. You can give via snail mail. People all over the world are giving now. We want you to join that as we continue to expand this space. Isn't it great to recognize today that everything is good? Isn't it great, Sister Kenitha?
Yes.
So y'all repeat after me. Everything is good.
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 I got it.
I got it.
You got it.
You got it.
We got it good.
We got it good.
I shift up a little bit because my spirit was saying, what a space of thanksgiving.
Yes.
So we want you to give, we want you to give joyfully. And while we give, we're going to sing that. We're going to sing that mantra together. We're going to sing that. Every good thing that you want, it's in this space of release. Mm-hmm. Every healing that you want in your body is in this space of release. Every relationship that is broken that you want fixed is in this space of release. Everything that you have open door ahead of you, opportunities that are ahead of you are in this space of release. Give from a space of release. Do not give from a space of lack, because you'll amplify the spirit of lack. Everything in the universe is frequency. If you say lack, 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 the only frequency that's going to connect with you is the massive energy of lack. And the universe shows no favorites. All it knows to do is give you abundance. It will give you an abundance of lack. But when you have an abundance of freedom and giving, a frequency of abundance and freedom, that frequency of abundance finds you, and you find that your life will expand in many ways. Enough said. We love you. Everything is good. Let's give the slide. Everything is good. Speak it aloud with us. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to release. From all over the world, we speak this together. O limitless, abundant Creator, source of everything I possess, you have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference. And so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken, and so it is. Ah, yeah. Everything is good. On the screen, you can give via Cash App, $ Infinity Fellowship. You can give via PayPal, paypal.me/Infinity Fellowship. And the mailing address is on the screen. Infinity Fellowship, 641 West Nocturne Drive. And we'll be there.
Ooh, everything is good. Everything is good, yeah. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, yeah, everything is good. Everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Come on.
Thank you, Sister Kenitha, for leading us in such a wonderful tune. And to her credit, Sister Kenitha also wrote that tune. Everything is good. We got a lot of great creativity coming into that space. Again, thank you for supporting this space and making it so that we are an independent community. We're not supported by outside entities. Y'all, we all doing this together. Isn't it wonderful that we get a chance to support each other and to grow a space that is looking out for people all over the globe? We see where you're calling in from. We see the spaces you're calling in from. And our technology is aligning at the right time. We have some announcements coming up. We want to let you know what's going on at the Infinity Fellowship and what kind of great things are happening. And Sister Kenitha, you running so much double and triple duty. Come on up here today. Let me just give y'all a hug because you just doing the doggone thing today, and you're being awesome as you usually are. Came in with a great attitude. Yes. We got our great tech crew in place. We got Brother Tony and Signaris. And I'm giving thanks in advance for Brother Tony. We know you had some auto issues, mechanical issues. And I think that's been the case with everybody. A lot of people have had some mechanical issues. We had 3 mechanical issues on cars.
Yes, every one of our cars
has had something.
I was like, what is going on?
Hey, man, that's what happened.
Releasing the spirit.
We're releasing the spirit.
Broken down cars. Okay.
Of broken down cars. We're releasing the spirit of broken down cars right now. And who knows, but Brother Tony's here on our multimedia. Brother Joshua Smith-Carr is here, working our cameras and audio. Sister Alicia Hamer is working our Wheels of Steel in our live stream. We've got our wonderful guests. We got our guests online ready to rock and roll. So we're great. We see, we see you in the waiting room, Sister Aya. It's gonna be a great time. We're almost to you, the person of the hour, the energy that's coming into space today. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great presentation and conversation. But we're here, the team, the crew is here, and everybody's safe. So Sister Kenitha is going to give us some announcements, so y'all pay attention. We got a couple of good things happening here at Infinity we want you to be a part of. Ashe.
Ashe. All right, so remember, at this point, if you have something great that happened to you that you want to report for Standing Ovations, guess what? You need to type it in now. And I like to tell people, you may be new and you're like, what is Standing Ovations? This is the part of the service where we actually get to share and report on something that has happened to us or our family that was great, so that we can be with you in that energy of excitement, okay? So right now, if you have something to share, and it doesn't matter if it's your first time, it doesn't matter if you've been on here 20 times, make sure you go ahead and type it in the chat box right now. All right, welcome to August, the 8th month of 2021, the year of alignment. Our daily mantra is, everything's going my way. And then we sing it. Everything's going my way. We speak that you are being safe at home and embracing this opportunity to explore your spirituality on a deeper level than ever before. Here are a couple of important reminders of things happening here at Infinity. All right, today is our 5th annual Infinity Back to School Bash. Woo! I'm so excited. Thank you to all of you who had sent in money through Cash App. We were able to get us some supplies. We've been able to get some things happening. So when you all arrive, we're not sure if the weather's going to hold up. So we may have to be indoors with stuff, but we will have tables set up with supplies. We will have tables set up with food. We're going to have pizza. And so you just come on in between the hours of 2 and 4, I believe it is. Come in, say hi. We'll go ahead and do our perm for you, sage your children, all of that good stuff. You'll get something to eat, and then you can head on out. We have a couple of treats. So that's today. Today. I would love to see you all out there. Oh, and remember, we are still in a pandemic. Okay, so wear your mask, please, while we're together, even if you've been vaccinated. All right, join us next week for Yoga Sunday. Last month, Rev Jeff focused on solar plexus chakra. This month, the focus is the heart chakra. the energy center that harbors your power to tap into deep meaning and focus. Get your aura flowing next week on the mat at Yoga Sunday. All right, it's time for Standing Ovations.
Tune your vibration to a high elevation. It's time for the good news, our standing ovation.
All right, our high energy here at IF comes from the practice of snap. It is why we snap our fingers during this part of the service. We receive practical lessons and tools for our individual journeys. That's spirituality.
Yes.
We fellowship with like-minded spirits every week. That's nurturing. We take what we learn and apply it in our lives. That's action. And if we do these, then guess what? Every week, we see examples of progress in our lives. That's the proof. So let us pause to enjoy a collective moment of manifestation and expansion. We'll call off your names as we receive them. And when your name is called, we will snap our fingers to celebrate and affirm them, and then provide a collective standing ovation at the end.
Awesome, y'all. So
Awesome
look,
stuff.
this is a wonderful moment. If you have manifested something that you've been working on, this is the time to celebrate. We want to announce it for you. This is something that's unique to Infinity, because now when we announce it, as Sister Kenitha said, everybody all over the world is going to go crazy clapping for you. We nurture a spirit of gratitude here by doing something that you're not encouraged to do in the world. Root for somebody else.
Yes.
When something good happens for somebody and you begin to root for them, what you do is you tune your frequency to that energy where people can root for you. Yes. When you have that energy inside you that says, they think there's something or something happened for them, guess what? That's the law of attraction says that magnet now attracts that negative energy to you. But if you can be happy for someone and celebrate somebody's success, you're going to start seeing success appear in your life in a whole new way. So that's what it's about. So let's go to our standing ovations and get to what we've got. Our first standing ovation is from our coach, the only female coach in an all-male professional basketball league, member of Infinity, Sister Denise Edmondson Knowles.
Yes.
The Music City Jazz traveled to Montgomery, Alabama, and gained another victory.
Goodness, yes!
Our last game is August 21st at 5 p.m. at Haynes Middle School.
Oh,
and of course, Denise says
yeah.
we're going to have tickets to purchase. She's going to do that.
Yeah.
So we got to get to see you, Denise. We had a great time when we came out.
We're going to be in the house.
We're going to be in the house screaming, seeing the live basketball
And it's the last
with our mask
game?
on. Yes.
And they've been undefeated?
Well, I think they lost one
Just
game,
one?
but they're at the top of their division.
Goodness.
Yeah. Coach Denise has her team of men.
Wow. Yes.
See, y'all sisters don't know. Sister Denise has that Queen Hatshepsut energy. Hatshepsut was a pharaoh. She wore the beard of the pharaoh, and she was a queen in ancient Kemet or Egypt.
Come on
so
now.
She's the modern day Queen Hatshepsut, and she has led her team to the best record in the league, in the playoffs, headed into it, and we're claiming a championship with you, Sister Denise, in advance. Thank you for that standing ovation. We got Sister Shakia in the house. Come on, Bonnie Boucher. Y'all don't know, that's Sister Kia. Young Sister Kia is putting it in there. I'm venturing my career to creative direction and art direction. Networking has been rough, but I've been keeping my frequencies high, and I landed a meeting with the NFL sanctioned clothier, Debbie Dorer, who currently has a jewelry line with Brett Favre's wife, and she wants to link me with possible NFL clientele.
Oh my goodness.
We speaking it for you, sister.
Yes. Doors opening. Yes.
All the right meetings, all the right time, all the right alignment.
Yes.
2021, for those of you who know it, Infinity, 2021 is the year of alignment.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Everything's going
my way. It's alignment.
Yes.
Speak it and know it.
Congratulations.
Come on, Shakia. Speak it and know it. We're putting it in the house. All right, we got Mesa, Arizona in the house, the Lindsay family,
yay.
Sister Tashana, applied to graduate school.
Come on.
Got my acceptance letter on Friday. Your girl getting that master's, y'all.
Yes. Nothing like that. opening up the mail, you see it, you reading real close.
And how many people want to, Shauna, just so you know, there are many people who talk about going to school and advancing their education, and they never even do the application.
I know, like me, master.
For those who are listening, some of you,
big
listen,
thing.
Sometimes it's just doing the application is a step in the right direction.
So true.
Application submitted.
So true.
Access guaranteed.
Oh my God.
Entrance is there. Your girl getting your master's. To the Lindsay family, we salute you today. What an awesome standing ovation. All right, grateful. We got Sister Michelle in the house. Good to see you, Michelle, as always. Grateful that my son's new poetry book is finally available on Amazon. Come on and come through, authors. As of last week, it is. We have to get it.
Yes.
Send us the name in the chat, and we're going to get it. Last week, as of last week, it's number 47 on the bestseller Black Poetry Authors list. Title, there it is. Your Right is Something Wrong.
Oh my goodness! Wow!
Now, here's what I want you all to understand, that in a global enterprise like Amazon,
Yes.
which I will say, I've got a movie on Amazon Fire Stick and a couple of books that are out there. I think maybe a couple of CDs. But what I want you to understand
Big
is
deal.
you're
Real
talking
big
about
deal.
a global enterprise with billions of people purchasing every day. So for a book to end up number 47,
Yes. Big deal.
come through.
It's just gonna
We're
keep
snapping
it.
for you. We're snapping for you. And look, I love it because everybody on the stream just loves to pour love in each other. Y'all keep doing that because we're going to give you a stand ovation. I want to give a stand ovation of appreciation for those of you who gave me a wonderful surprise for my birthday last week. If you watched the stream, 54 has been good. To those who did that, there's a modern thing with Cash App and folks. I love it. Y'all Cash App. We had some good food and coffee.
Surprised you with
me.
a hotel visit. I was like,
I got a hotel.
Way.
I got a hotel getaway.
Yeah.
One night. But as Luther said,
One night.
if only for one night, your eyes say things I never knew before. Okay.
Say that.
I ain't gonna do it.
See, come on, get them right.
Hey.
Come on, Sister Alicia, get them right.
I am a songwriter, so I can make up my own lyrics.
Not with Lufa.
I know it's Luther.
We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, I know the lyrics.
Yeah, see, no,
Let me hold you tight.
Okay.
If only for one night.
Okay.
Let me keep you near. Ease away your fear. See, I can do that.
There you go. All right.
That was the first song I sang in the talent show at Overton High School. I tell you, it's funny, but it's great. Back to it. I did
Your
get one
birthday.
night.
Okay.
My birthday. I got one night, which was great because we hadn't been, aside from business, we hadn't gone somewhere just us two because we do
COVID.
a lot of stuff and COVID and all of that. We counted the days. We realized it's been like 2018,
2019.
This is 2021. So that one night, that pool, that everything was cool. It was great. And got to sleep. And then the next day we went right back into the week for getting kids ready.
Yes.
So standing ovation.
Yes.
Thank you all. Opened the box, the mailbox, got a great letter. Dr. Michaela Bethune melted my heart. I love you. I'm writing you back. Thank you. Sister Angie surprised me with a mug. So I'm drinking from a mug today, and it's not just a mug, but it's a mug by one of my favorite artists. Let me go to that musician's cam, Joshua. I want to see if you can show that on there. It is an original creation by James R. Thrillkill, the amazing James R. Thrillkill. So yeah, to be able to have that, it's just been Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And my standing ovation is I made it 54 years. I've not been insane. I don't have any chronic conditions. I got a great family and friend circle. We got this great spiritual community. I'm amplified in gratitude. When people say, why are you always up all the time? Can you always be positive? Absolutely, because I look around me. When I look back over my life and the stuff that I've been brought through, oh my gosh, y'all ain't ready for that testimony. But I tell you one thing, it's great to be here, to stand here. And I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for a wonderful manifestation of 5 and 4 is 9. We're going to make it happen this year.
And the big one is, so our son Daniel went into surgery on Thursday, y'all, because he had to get his blockage removed on his left kidney. So it was almost a 4-hour surgery, and he came through just fine. He's actually here. I had to bring him with me because he couldn't stay at home.
Keep him at home.
But he's here. He's moving around. He's doing very well. So we are so thankful for all of the energy that was sent out to that, but also proclaiming that. And we had another surgery with Sister Latia.
Sister Latia Stewart.
Yes.
And to Latia, if you're watching there
Yes.
from the medical center, we hope you're watching. We're sending you love. Brother David Stewart, the entire Stewart family. We know because all of Infinity has been sending you this energy. You've been dealing with this issue for a long time. And we're grateful that modern science, right, is the application of ancient wisdom, scientific discovery. Modern science made it so that the operation you needed would be possible, and you'd have a specialist that would assign and be aligned just with you. And on Friday, you went in.
His was Thursday, hers
we had
was
Thursday,
Friday.
and yours was Friday. You went in, went through that surgery, came out on the other side, and Dave told me that they're thinking about letting you go instead of 3 days. They're thinking about possibly letting you go today.
Yes.
So we're going to speak that you walk out of that space into the brand new life that you deserve,
Yes, Latia.
pain-free,
Yes, Latia.
with your spirit wide open in thanksgiving and gratitude. And we proclaim that healing in your life right now. And we send you this standing ovation for you too, and the entire Stewart family.
Yes.
All right, we got Sister Tanita's in the house.
Hi, Tanita.
She wants to share. Thankful that my 94-year-old mom returned from the hospital and is home and doing well. God, there's so much healing waves over this place today. Celebrating wonderful health. Ashe. Oh,
yes. Yes.
This is a motif, y'all. I'm telling you.
Yes.
The surgeries,
Yes.
I'm telling you, with the cars and the trouble people have, it's just a space of healing that's happening.
Yes.
The difficulties are just there to move those things out of the way so that you can be in alignment with the best things that are coming to you in the second half of the year. I can go on and on, but I won't. We got such celebration happening today.
Yes.
Sister Candace, welcome to Infinity. I want to give a standing ovation to my grandson, Nathan, who attended the MTSU baseball prospect camp, the only high school junior out of 40 plus seniors.
Wow.
He was outstanding, and the scholarship I have manifested, his scholarship waiting for him to graduate in a couple of years. We're speaking it now.
Yes.
Scholarship, open
Yes.
doors,
Yep.
academic success,
Yep.
baseball success.
Yep.
We're pronouncing it over him right now. Let him know
Yes.
that this
Great
is
things.
manifesting. Great things are here in the right now. And so it is.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, y'all, this is so good. All right, so if you shared, guess what? You get to stay seated, okay? You get to get comfortable in your seat. But the rest of us, we are going to stand to our feet and give the most awesome, amazing standing ovation that we can get from
Yes.
wherever we are, okay?
Wherever you are.
Here we go. And we had our youngest ones who were in the corner shouting and wooing as well.
Everybody in here was screaming.
Yes, so those are
Globally.
the announcements and ovations for today. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Ashe.
Take a deep inhale, exhale, and release it. Ashe. Standing ovations. Oh, man. It feels absolutely great in here as people are settling in. We are preparing for If Speaks. We have an awesome speaker today. Before we introduce that speaker, we want to go to today's meditation. I want y'all to keep in mind, because it's going to guide us through the conversation that we're having today. Today's meditation comes from the great Presbyterian theologian, William Shedd. We'll have it on the screen for you. Awesome. Awesome. Take a look at it, read it, absorb it, because from there, I want you to think about this as I introduce our speaker for today. Today's meditation says, a ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for. Deep breath in. Exhale to release. A ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are for. I change it around. I always say a ship is safe in the harbor. That's not what ships are for, though, is it? We want to welcome into If Speaks today the spaces that were, and Josh was in here with us. You're back here, Josh. He's back with us. We are welcoming into If Speaks today a wonderful, wonderful spirit. As you are preparing yourself, as you are preparing your mind and your spirit, we ask that you sing a verse with us of one of our old favorites. We sing this song because it represents a connection to a higher space of being. It represents an opportunity to transition from this physical consciousness into a higher spiritual consciousness. The ancestors over time continually sang songs, whether they were in the fields, whether they were in the ships, and whether they were in the rituals in ancient times. We've got thousands of years of history from various cultures in the world where you had songs that connected you to who you were. These chants, these melodies, these harmonies always reminded us that there was something better. And by singing in a resonant space, we recognize that we could call that something better into the right now. The elders years ago used to sing a song, "Come and Go to That Land," and we thought it was waiting until we died. But the reality is that land is consciousness. That land is goodness. That land is power. So I invite you to take a deep breath with me here. Imagine that plane of consciousness that you want to be in as it is present right now. Exhale to release. And I invite you to sing along with me. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound. Oh, there is peace in that land. There is peace in that land. There is peace in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There is peace in that land. There is peace in that land. There is peace in that land where I'm bound. Oh, don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land where I'm bound? As all hearts and minds are prepared For our speaker today, I'm going to read her bio. Sister Aya Fubara Eneli. Give her some loving hearts in this space today. Aya Fubara Eneli is a fearless and tireless advocate for the liberation of Africa, women, and youth. Born in Columbus, Ohio, she grew up in the West African country of Nigeria. A prolific writer and speaker, she began appearing weekly on television at age 3. As an 8-year-old, she was the keynote speaker for the Federal Republic of Nigeria's national celebration of the International Year of the Child. She attended The Ohio State University, where she earned 4 degrees in 7 years. 2 Bachelor of Arts degrees in political science and English, a master's degree in African and African American studies, and a Juris Doctorate, her law degree. Known as the Abundant Life Coach, Aya has served clients in 13 countries. She is also a certified diversity trainer, a member of the International Who's Who of Entrepreneurs, an honored member of the International Executive Guild, and a newspaper columnist. Aya has been featured in various media outlets, including ABC, MSNBC, Entrepreneur Magazine, PBS, Black Enterprise, and the Detroit Free Press. She speaks from her experiences across 2 continents, the trials of losing 4 children, the challenges and lessons gleaned from giving up a successful career to stay home with her kids, overcoming childhood trauma to build a successful home-based business that impacts thousands across the United States and in many other nations across the world. She is the founder, institution builder of the Success and Empowerment Youth Camp and Intelligent and Talented Girls, the IT Girls, where she encourages and teaches girls and young women leadership and success strategies. She is also a co-founder of a political organization, Black Ladies Advancing Qualitative and Quantitative Change, also known as Black. Aya's energy and contagious enthusiasm have resonated with women's groups, administrators, executives, youth, teachers, salespeople, and business leaders. With humor and refreshing candor, she motivates her audience to soar above obstacles, strive for excellence, and take action to create the life of purpose and fulfillment. She's the best-selling author of 3 books, including Live Your Abundant Life. We're going to have her social media up too. Reclaim Your Life, Guidance for Wives at the Crossroads, and Live Your Abundant Life too. She lives in Central Texas as a family woman with her husband, Dr. Infinititude Eneli, and their 5 gifted and miraculous children. Madu, Kosi, Ona, Kene, and Ikem, 2 of them who are also authors. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring into the room and turn the screen over to the wonderful Sister Aya Fubara Eneli. Sister, welcome to Infinity. I'm going to give the screen to you. Take a few minutes to do your thing, and I'll be back to ask some questions. Ashe.
I don't even know where to start. I will start with good morning to everyone, grand risings, wherever you're watching from. It is awesome to be with you today. I'm hearing this echo. Let's figure out what that's about. Is it better now?
Yeah, I think, let us figure it out. I think I'm going to turn down some of our mics here.
Okay. So I want to definitely thank the amazing Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr, whom I've known since I think I was a teenager, maybe in my early 20s. And your beautiful wife. And I just thank God for your vision and for creating this space, and for your sacrifice in creating this place where we can come together and participate in ritual and have our spirits and our souls fed. And I certainly thank you for the opportunity to join you today. That was extremely hard listening to you read that bio. but we give God, we give our ancestors all glory and thanks. So when Reverend Jeff reached out to me and he said, I'd like you to consider talking about the pursuit of purpose. My initial reaction was, oh my God, like really right now. But I'm at a place in my life where I am choosing really to just step up into whatever spaces my ancestors are creating for me. Know well that I do not walk alone. I do not walk into those spaces alone, and that they are guiding me in everything that I say and do. And so my prayer as I prepared today was simply that whatever I say today, whatever you hear, because we'll all hear it differently, right, will be exactly what you need and exactly what your ancestors need you to receive today. So let's talk about the pursuit of purpose. Really important topic for a variety of reasons. But when we just think about purpose, right? It's that thing that drives many of us crazy. I know it certainly has me from time to time. That knowing feeling that there's something more that you should be doing, that there should be something more to your life. If you've ever sat down and wondered, isn't there more to what I'm living right now? What happens when people do not have a sense of their purpose, do not clarity on their purpose, is it creates that sense of hopelessness, right? You get to that place where it's just a void, where nothing has meaning. And that is a very dangerous place. And that is a place, by the way, where far too many have spent time. I know I have. And many of our youth currently reside in that place. I think it's why you're seeing this uptick in suicides. It used to be that you would read or hear about some stories and you're like, well, that's not a Black person, because we don't take our own lives. And increasingly now, and anything that I had in my notes, so my ancestors are taking over. But, increasingly now we're seeing our young people just struggling with mental health challenges. And so as I thought about what I wanted to share with you today, there were three things in particular that I wanted to make sure that I emphasized. The first is that we really do all have purpose, and that anything that resides within us, that has been planted within us, that would cause us to question whether we should be here, whether we add value, whether our lives matter. That is definitely, I wouldn't say something of the devil, because to some extent that is, like a myth that has been created, but it is definitely not life-giving. It is not of God. It is not of the spirit that we want to tap into. This week I have been battling with my eggplant as it has been attacked by aphids. And as I was trying to figure out, okay, what combination of neem oil, dishwashing liquid, and bicarbonate, or water, or whatever, what combination is going to, or at least get rid of these aphids so that my plant can thrive and produce like it's supposed to. I was reminded that even the aphids have purpose, right? And they're doing what they're supposed to do. I just don't want them doing it on my eggplant. But, if you can look around in nature and recognize that every single thing has value, has a purpose, then how much more you, right? So that's just the very first thing I want to share with us, is that we do have purpose. And if you're ever in a place where you're doubting why you're here, it's time to find a community. It's time to find those people that you can reach out to, and they can immediately help you right your ship. It's time to find the right relationships, right? The meditation for today. It's time to find, because every ship is not taking you where you might want to go. So it's time to identify those right relationships, those people that in those dark moments that will visit all of us if you live long enough, you're able to reach out and say, I'm thinking this, I'm feeling this, I'm doubting myself, I'm wondering, I feel like I've been going around in circles. Nothing I'm doing seems to be working out. In fact, every road I travel takes me down, right? And that person can remind you of your source, can remind you of your beauty can remind you of your values. So important that we hold on to the truth, infallible truth, that we all have value, that we all have purpose. The second I wanted to share is that in this Western world that we live in, and whether you're here in the United States of America or you're in the Caribbean, you're Northern America, you're on the African continent, wherever you are, unfortunately, we have all been touched by what Sister Marion Banning will call you. Well, not will call, does call Yurugu. We've been impacted by this Western indoctrination and ideas of what purpose is, and Rick Warren years ago made millions from the Purpose Driven Life, right? That book. And it was really an answer, some form of an answer to that eternal question that so many people have, is why on earth am I, why am I here? And he tapped into that hunger and that need and that questioning that people have, and that desire to fill that void, that desire to have hope and not to live with hopelessness. But what Western society teaches us to do is to go beyond ourselves, right? To go to other people to find our purpose. And I certainly have been very guilty of that. One of the reasons I have 4 degrees in 7 years, while I worked multiple jobs and was pretty active politically and in other ways at Ohio State University, it was just this search, this pursuit for purpose, right? And it was really a pursuit. And I'm going to define pursuit as, that thing where, I need to overtake, I need to conquer, I need to accomplish, I need to slay, I need to prove myself, right? It wasn't this understanding that my purpose is innate, it's in me. It would be like, listen, y'all, it would be like an acorn, right? Or a seed of corn sitting around going, I must pursue my destiny. I must pursue my DNA. And they're going from university to university and place to place and book to book and podcast to podcast to understand their destiny. I mean, wouldn't you say to that acorn, hey, calm down. It's all in you. You just need to be planted. And everything you need to become this amazing oak tree is already imprinted in your DNA. But what we tend to do, because of the socialization in this Western society that we live in, and even for those of us, I wasn't, like I said, raised here in the United States, but even on the continent of Africa, was this thing of looking for validation from elsewhere. And the craziness about it is that while I sought it everywhere else, I was not paying attention to what was inside of me. I was not going back to source. I was not connecting to my creator in the ways that I should have been, to truly understand how I was designed and how I'm innately created, and that everything that I need to quote unquote tap into and fulfill my purpose is already in me, right? And so I have spent too many years, this is my 50th year on earth, at least this iteration of me. I have spent so many years searching, right? Wanting to be validated, wanting to prove myself, wanting to have other people acknowledge what was in me. And don't get me wrong, we all need that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so grateful for this space, because we do need community. We're never designed to function alone. I mean, even trees have community. Those roots connect and they communicate and they feed one another. And so we are supposed to be in community. And yes, we are supposed to get validation from community. But the question is, what community, right? And certainly this Western culture was not one that was ever designed to nurture me. And I would dare say wasn't designed to nurture you. As a matter of fact, as far as I can tell, Western culture just tends to kill everything. Like everywhere they go, destruction imagine why, yes, a genius like Jimi Hendrix would die in the way. And so many other geniuses. I happened to just watch a documentary of him yesterday. You can see why our young people are struggling. You can see why our old men involved. You can see why, sisters are looking for meaning in so many ways that actually take us away from that source. And so I would definitely say that, and as we talk about not pursuing our purpose, but living into that purpose, becoming, right, fulfilling everything that's already in us, that we start with that understanding that it is already in us, that we don't have to go anywhere else to find it. It is helpful to have mentors, extremely helpful to have those who nurture that 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 which is within, similarly to the way that I nurture my plants. But I don't create those plants, right? I don't program them. They are already designed for what it is that they do. And the last thing that I want to say, and then I'm just going to let Reverend Jeff and those of you who have questions, post your questions, take us wherever you want us to go with this, is to say that once you have spent the time, and you do have to spend the time, we do have to get quiet to reconnect, to remember our purpose. Listen, it's like before we came to Earth, and I was just having this conversation with my 22-year-old, who's going through his thing, right? The 20s are not the easiest time in the world. But I was reminding him that when he was still in my womb, I kept a journal, and then there were things that were given to me about him, things that were revealed to me about who he was going to be. And as he got older, actually when he was in middle school, he was working on a project like what you want to be, because we're always asking kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, do I want to be a doctor? Do I want to be an engineer? And most of the time, these questions are geared towards, how you going to make a living? Really, that's what they're like. How you going to make money? It's not really what is your purpose and how do you live it out? It's really like, how you going to make money? Because we've created this society where God gave us everything for free. Now we need money just to live, right? And so having this conversation with him, and I'm talking to him about who he's always been. I mean, this child is prophetic. I mean, he told me after my 4 miscarriages that I was pregnant before I knew I was. And he told me I was having a girl. He told me it was going to be okay. He was 4 years old. So I was trying to remind him of things that had been revealed to me about him. But he felt like, that wasn't his path. I'm going to go to college, full ride scholarship to high school, and study finance. And everybody's got a walk path. Like I can't make him walk the path I think he should walk. That thing has to be revealed to him in his own time. And so anyway, getting back to this whole thing of purpose, right? The third point that I wanted to make, and the reason I was telling that story is that once you've tapped into and you've discovered what that purpose is, let me not say discovered, you remember it. Because even before you were born, you already agreed to what it is you were going to be and what your role was going to be. Like you and your spirit guides and God, like y'all sat down and said, this is what's needed. This is what you're going to bring to the table, so to speak. This is what you're going to do with this life before you decide to come through. My son, like, listen, I got some downloads while we were still being knit in my womb, so to speak. Like, listen to me. But at any rate, once you have done that work to be quiet, to remember, and it does require quietness. We live in a world that's really busy, so loud. As a mother of 5 children, I have 5 children, 2 dogs, and 8 chickens. Like, it is loud in this house. Even when no one is here, the fridge is still loud. I'm like, so I get out into nature a lot. Like, I just need some quiet. But once you've tapped into it, you've begun to remember your purpose, your reason for being. Then the next piece, and this is the last piece I'm going to share with you, is you've got to courageously pursue it. And that, again, has been a place where I have struggled, I'm just being really honest with y'all. Even when things have been revealed to me, even when I've written things, even when I've said, God, and to my ancestors, okay, I get it, I'm going to do it. misery likes company. We just want to all stay mediocre in that sense. So time and time in my life, I would step out in what I do know to be my purpose. And then those knocks will come, those arrows in the back, and I'm like, what? I'm just going to go back here and be quiet. And then I go back there, and okay, what's going on with the sound? I keep hearing people say, I've seen people talking about the sound. Is there anything I need to be doing? I'm so sorry.
We're going through, what we're getting is there's a mix. It seems like there's a mic on your end that goes in and out. Are you using an external mic or are you using a computer mic?
I'm using a computer mic, but I
There we go.
external
No,
mic.
I think there you are now. Like, I hear you loud and clear right now. Say something else.
Can you all hear me really good now?
Oh yeah, you're blasting now. It was just that last point, and again, we'll in the Q&A, we'll get through that. We'll come back and get around that last point, because what you've been saying is so powerful, and we got almost all the chunks. We're just gonna add in that last little piece, that third point, and we can do that with the Q&A. But I can hear you loud and clear now.
All right. So
Yes.
the last point is be courageous in pursuing that purpose. No matter what it brings, no matter how people respond. Like you are here, you were created for that. So just trust that you can get through whatever it is, and that it will be to the benefit of not just you, not just the community in which you live, but also to the glory and really to the advancement of what Spirit has brought you here to do. And I think the problem that our community faces is that too many of us, even after we figured out what our purpose is, we run away from it. And what we need is courage to really fulfill that which we were born to. And here's the bottom line. If you don't, you just really die in frustration. And I've been that other side. And so publicly, again, I am affirming this time around that I'm going to stick to what I was brought here to do. However it looks, whether it's accepted, whether it's validated or not. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Reverend Jeff.
I love it. We're going to split up the screen so I can talk to you here. And again, thank you for making that adjustment, because it was that last piece. And thank you to everybody here who's in here. The beautiful thing about If Speaks is we're live and people get to ask questions. So if you missed a little something here, I'm opening up the floor, the chat box, for questions. If you have a question that you'd like to ask from Sister Aya, go ahead and type it in the chat box. Don't wait till the end, because see, you wait till the end. Sometimes we say how we do this. We get all inspired at the end, and then by that time we can't get to all the questions. So if you have a question specifically about something that she covered, or if you have some advice that you'd like to get from this woman of manifestation, go ahead and type it into the box right now, and we'll get it. It's interesting, Sister Aya, and I wanted you to expand on something, because you pointed out that we really do all have a purpose. Everybody and everything has a purpose. So even the aphid, many people deal with aphids in their lives, what they perceive to be parasites and things that come against them. How do you deal, and I'll ask you this as a practical tool, how do you deal with people who are negative, who seem to be intent on blocking you from living your purpose?
That's a great question. I have had a lot of negative people in my life, and I pray I have not been a negative person in someone else's life. The way I look at whether it's negative people or negative situations that have happened to me is that they've all maybe not been designed, but they're all tools to cause me to discover more of who I am. So whether it's the childhood sexual abuse I experienced and the individuals who perpetrated that, what it caused me to do was to find that strength to fight back. And once I did, it was just this understanding that I can face something like this and I can deal with it. And more importantly, now I can mentor young girls and women and help them through those kind of situations. I can work with mothers and fathers and give them some tools to ensure that they're protecting their children so that they don't experience what I've experienced. So, in other words, I look at any negativity that comes my way as an invitation to tap more into my power, to figure out more of who I'm supposed to be, and then to go out into the world and make a difference with that. And so I'm grateful to all my detractors. I don't necessarily want to call them into my life, like y'all can stay away for real, for real. But for those who for those who've broken through the barrier and been able to reach me and in some ways hurt me, I'm still here. And because I'm still here, I can send that message to other people that they too can overcome, they too can stand, and actually we can go out and educate and prevent those things from happening to other people. So dealing with negativity, I thank them. I don't go seeking it, but I thank them. And I also always try to understand where those people are coming from and what makes them do what they do. And so as a healer, if I can be a tool to help them, great. Now, some of them, they're so toxic, I got to walk away. But that's certainly how I deal with negative people, is I look at it as, okay, let's go to another level, Aya. Let's tap in. Let's figure out how we overcome this. And then let's go make the world a better place.
Exceptional spiritual tool. And I'm sure if there's a little echo, it's probably just coming because of headphones and all of that. And it's great because it's me. I've cutting my mic on and off so that I can hear you clearly and you can hear me. Finding community and using detractors as an invitation to tap more into my power. What a great statement. What a great succinct way of looking at how people, aphids, APHIDS. I think that's that's the spelling of aphids for people who are looking for it. You'll find them on your greens and your plants. And you also are a master gardener. I didn't add that. If you follow Aya on social media, you'll see that she pretty much cooks everything out of a garden and it looks like a farm. I was like, I thought I was doing good, doing well, raising some tomatoes. And I'm like looking at every single thing. It's how you find the time. I'm going to come back to that, but I've got some good questions in the chat. I'm going to scroll up and pull a couple of ones from early, and I think Tanita's the first one at the top. How do you know? Yeah, is that the first one? Okay, so we're gonna go to Tanita's question. How do you know, and I'll put it on the screen for you too, Aya, how do you know what your purpose is, or how do you figure it out? What tools do you give to people when they're trying to discover their purpose, and how do you figure it out?
That's a great question. So one of the things that I love to do with clients and increasingly with myself, you know how you can teach other folk, but then you don't always practice stuff yourself, is really that gift of memory, right? And so I would have people go back as far as they can into their earliest memory of themselves. What did they love to do? What gave them great energy? What brought them joy? What brought them peace? Like what did they gravitate naturally to? So in my case, I remember being 4 or 5 years old and I had a chalkboard and I would invite all the little kids, anyone who was younger than me and even those who were older than me in the neighborhood, and they would be my classroom. And whatever I learned, I was going to teach. It didn't matter if it was just ABC, even didn't matter if it was a song, whatever it was. Like I was going to teach somebody something. And that's just always been something that I've done. Now, I'm not a certified teacher. I'm not a professor at a college or anything, but teaching has always been something that was part of my purpose. What I realized as I started to look at all the things that had brought me joy, all the things that I had naturally gravitated towards, is that I always wanted to share knowledge. I always wanted to uplift people. And I always wanted to leave things better than. I recognized that as a child, you could always find me with the elders. I was that kid where it's like, why is she here again? That's just who I gravitated towards, not my peers. And then as an adult, or as a teenager and as an adult, as I got older, I wanted to be around babies and not my peers again, just because, just the drama and inauthenticity, yeah. And so I recognized that I was actually trying to connect with spirit, because our elders are closer to that source and the babies are closer to the source. But getting right back to this question in terms of the tools, I think the first thing is sitting with yourself and really trying to peel back the layers beyond the things that people have told you that you're supposed to be, beyond the trauma that may have changed you. We have a saying, "Na condition make crayfish bend." In other words, if you look at a shrimp, usually when it's cooked, it's curled. But shrimp in water, they're straight. It's a condition that causes them to curl. And a lot of times they're conditions that cause us to be shaped in a certain way, and we assume that's who we are. And so one of my biggest tools is getting people to go back, to remember back. And sometimes it's really difficult to do, and sometimes it comes in waves. Who were you before the world tried to tell you who you were supposed to be? What is it that gives you joy? There's this very basic one. You're 80 plus years if you're blessed, and you're sitting in a rocking chair and you're just rocking and you're thinking back on your life. What is it that you want people to say about you? Or what is it that you want to have achieved, that you want to have accomplished? And I realized, particularly going through my miscarriages, that just having titles and prestige and all of that wasn't enough for me, that there was something deeper that I wanted. So in terms of finding your purpose, it goes back to those, I believe, innate gifts that God has imprinted on you, and reclaiming those things. And then understanding that living out that purpose doesn't have to look just one way. So I am still a teacher. I teach every day, whether it's with my gardening, whether it's history, whether it's law, whether it's as a life coach, whether it's as a mother. I'm teaching every day. I'm still encouraging people. I'm still imparting whatever wisdom I'm privy to. And so the other thing that Western society makes us feel is that you've got to pick one quote unquote career, and that's your purpose, and that's how you can show up in a lot of different ways. So I've had a ton of careers. I've worked at universities. I've been a Mary Kay pink Cadillac driver. I've unloaded UPS trucks. I was the best chili maker at Wendy's. And in all of those things, I was still living out my purpose. So sister, whoever asked the question, go back and pay attention to those gifts, those things that come naturally, those things that you would do even if you weren't paid. And within that, you will begin to find what your purpose is.
What a great question, and what a great answer. Thank you, Tanita. I'm going right to Faraya. Faraya has a question. How did you find your purpose or passion in growing your own food and to feed your family and others in your community? Well, how did you make that connection? Because in addition, did you homeschool your kids as well at some point?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I just want people to understand that, when people are struggling, we don't do a comparative analysis of struggle, because, trauma for one incident is trauma for 20 incidents. But in the midst of all that you do, you also homeschool, garden, grow your own food, share with the community. How did you find your purpose with that?
So I grew up with a mother who gardens, who farms. And I grew up in a society where, and most of us, if you're old enough, grew up in a similar society where everybody grew something. You didn't just count on the grocery store to feed you. You had a little patch of something where you grew something. At least that's how I grew up. And as I got more disconnected and more into what Western culture wanted me to be, I was really struggling. I literally having some serious mental health issues. And going back to gardening was my therapy, was my tool to my own healing. So after my fourth miscarriage, we moved to Illinois. I quit my job, and the soil just called me. and I would be out before dawn in that dirt. I would be out at sunset in that dirt. And in that place, as I tended seeds and plants and so on, it was like my ancestors were also tending my soul. God was speaking to me in that place. That's actually where the book Live Your Abundant Life came from, out of that dirt. And so growing things to feed myself and my family is my therapy. I understand intimately now how much being connected to nature is key to us living out our purpose and to staying connected to source. You know, so much of what we do now is artificial, and we're in these buildings and these hard things, and we're just not connected to our source anymore. So being in that dirt, growing things, speaking to those plants speaking to me, and then being able to now feed my family. I mean, gosh, it's amazing. And of course, now we've grown to, you know, having community gardens where we're not just tending plants, we're talking to each other as we're gardening, and we're in community, and it's like ritual, and we're solving problems, like, oh, my husband did this today. Well, these kids were doing so and so and so. What's going on at your job? We solve all of those problems just like we used to do in that village setting. So, Pariah, first of all, you got some nerve to come here to ask me a question because you got all the answers. But finding purpose, how did I find my purpose and passion? It was really my desire to connect, my desire to heal, my desire to get back to source. And so that's something that it sustains me. And I'm hoping that I can help show other people how engaging in that will sustain them too.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to go I'm going to point people to a great comment. It's a longer comment, so I can't put it up on the screen. But Sister Rosette in Chicago describes a situation that happened with her and her niece and what she had to do. I'll put it up briefly and just invite y'all to go to the stream, because Sister is offering some wisdom from an elder on how she helped fix a situation that happened with an aunt, or great nieces rather. So this concept of elders in a community is very important. I'm going to circle back to that, but I think we had a comment from Teresa that I am going to put up, attempting to find a tribe that will encourage and guide me in my purpose. And we talk about this, and we back and forth on the internet. We see this. Infinity is a tribe of people who are working on their purposes. I'm happy to have this space in the digital space too. Where do you find a tribe that will help you in a pursuit of purpose? Where do you find, for the people who are out there who may have not discovered a space like Infinity yet, or who may be in a city where they feel like they're by themselves, what tips do you give to people to find that community? Because community is important. We have spiritual practices individually. We go to work. We have this career and purpose, but it really does help when you have a tribe of people around you who are pouring into you. What steps do you offer to people who are seeking that tribe?
Okay, so I'm going to try and be quick on this so that we can take more questions. First and foremost, there's seasons to life, right? So just like, again, I'm always going to come back to this plant thing. You know, there are things I'm planting now that I can't plant later, and vice versa. So there are seasons when you are not supposed to be in a tribe, so to speak. Like, that is your time to be alone, your quote unquote wilderness experience. Like, ain't nobody can help you. You got to go to your source, right? And so there are times I have cried out for a tribe, and it's like, nah, you're not getting one. Like, you need to connect to us because we're what sustains you, even though you want all of these other things. So you might be in that season. It is only just a season. Tap into it. Try to make the most of it. I can't tell you that it's the most comfortable thing, especially for those of you who are extroverted. I'm an introvert, so I do tend to deal with that a little better, but extroverts, that's a really tough time for y'all. The other thing I'll say about finding a tribe is every tribe is not for forever, right? So there have been times in my life where I've been able to tap into a group of people and we've had synergy and we've been able to accomplish things. And then all of a sudden something seems to change. And we're not in sync anymore. And there's that grief, and there's mourning, and you want it to always be, but it isn't. And it's okay to celebrate what was, to take the good from it, and to just be like, okay, that's yet another season. There have been times in my life where I had to create the tribe. So like, we've moved a lot. And when I first came to this area that we live in, I'm like, I have something to give, but where do I give that so many doors closed? So I actually reached out to a restaurant and I said, I would like to use your space for free, invite people to come. I'm going to give some lectures and they can buy lunch. And the restaurant manager said, sure. I didn't know if they were going to say yes or no. So I put out these little postcards. Nobody knew me in this town. We had just moved. And I just put them in different places. Well, the first day, it was I think on Wednesdays for 6 weeks, something like that. The place was packed with women I didn't know. And I just gave them what had been given to me to share. The next week, more people came. Like there wasn't enough space anymore. And from that group, I created a community. And I'm still in community with a lot of them. So that was one way of, I can't find a tribe. I don't know where to find a tribe. I'm going to create my own. And that might be something that there are lots of other people around you who are saying this is what we need, but they don't have the leadership capabilities to create it. So you go ahead and create it. And then other times it's really just being quiet and paying attention, because there are groups we just have to really like look for them, tune into them. And when we find them, being humble enough to just first observe and see where we fit in, as opposed to, especially those of you who may have that alpha energy wanting to take over. But wherever you are right now, sis, I would say embrace it, learn what you can from this season, and know that it won't always be this way. And push come to shove, create your own.
Exceptional advice. And, it's also good when you talk about community, you have challenges in community. I know when I was younger, when you mentioned about the elders and sitting with the elders, that was something that I was drawn to as well. That culture of sitting with the elders is something that cannot be lost in this conversation on purpose. We know that the current generations, all of the generations, the Generation X, hip hop generation, which is, I fall in that category, millennials, and now Gen Z, we increasingly have access to knowledge. That also gives you an opportunity to find community. Even if you can't physically be there, you can find community online. You can find spaces now that you have access to that you had to actually physically pick up and move to get to previously. Now you can find it online. But in that space, I don't want us to miss this concept of listening to the elders and aligning yourself with people who have traveled that path before. It makes it easier for you and your purpose if you are aligning yourself with people who have walked that way and have produced fruit. I've seen that. One of the reasons why I'm glad you were able to take the time out today is I'm glad because you have produced the fruit, literally. We have this kind of planting motif going through everything, which is great because as a master gardener and a grower, you see how this manifest throughout your life, whether it's education, whether it's family, whatever it is, you are doing these things. I want to, before we wrap up, because if anybody has any questions, last minute questions, put it in here. Somebody was, what should be done? Yep. Yeah, and we put that up. We've got Keisha, I think, has a comment, and it's great. Keisha is a manifester too. I can speak to that. What should be done in the midst while you're out in the ship alone? So we talk about a ship, right? The question of the meditation that came from William Shepard, that a ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what a ship is for. It's not to sit in the harbor. It's to get out there. What do you do in those moments of loneliness when you feel like you're the only ship that's out there moving toward purpose?
Well, the truth is, that's not true. You are never alone. And that is something that I have really come to appreciate more in the last 3 years in particular. I mean, like, I'm seriously having conversations with my paternal grandfather, whom I never met, I am having conversations with my grandmother, who I did meet, who passed away. We were not on good terms when she passed away, and we've since made our peace. I am having conversations with Queen Kambasa, who is my ancestor, who lived, as far as I can figure out, in the 1600s. What I say all of that to say, we're never really alone, right? Like, our ancestors are with us. Our spirit guides are with us. I mean, whatever it is that you believe, your creator is with you. And so I think first that sense of I'm alone. And let me tell you, I'm the queen of I shouldn't say, maybe not the queen, but like I know so many songs about being alone and loneliness and being down and all of that. Like I would play them or repeat and all of that. And it gave me this sense of, it was almost like it actually fed my ego to think that I was experiencing something that nobody else had ever experienced before, and oh my God, and the burden, and it gave me, it almost gave me a sense of how important I was, in a really kind of crazy way. But as I have come to not fear these voices and not fear these opportunities to interact with beings that I cannot see with my earthly eyes, I have realized I am never really alone, and that those times when I do feel that extreme loneliness, spiritually, there are things that I can be doing. Although, as a human being, I would be remiss if I don't say, yes, there are absolutely times when you're craving another living person to understand you, to walk with you, to put an arm around you. And in those times, what I then try to do is I try to be that for somebody else. So I go and give to someone what it is that I'm lacking and needing. And I just really believe that if I plant enough of what I need in others, eventually it'll come to me.
I can't wait till we get in person, because what you said right there, that's when the organ and the band would have taken off and everybody would have been running around 641 Nocturne Drive shouting, because that's it. I try to be what I desire for somebody else. And it's that circle. It's beautiful. Let me get through these comments, because I got some good questions that came up in this stream, and I want to get to them.
Posted a question. Me and him in the same house, and he gonna post a question.
Where is it? I want to get. Oh, is it right? Where is it? Facebook name, but I'll go in order.
Just go ahead, go in order.
No, we're gonna go in order. I'm gonna go. I think I've got Terrell first. Yeah, Terrell first, and we'll zoom through these. Yeah, because you can. I love about Aya, you always, since we met. I think we met at a conference when you were undergrad at Ohio State, with the New Jack Scholars and Greg and everything. And you can be, for people who aren't used to it, almost disconcertingly direct. Like, here's the answer. It's straight. We don't have to use flowery language, which I love. So we're going to go through these and be direct. Terrell says, how do we teach these lessons to our children in an organic way? Is it just kids do what we do, not what we say? You're amazing. Thank you. How do we teach these lessons here to our kids in an organic way?
Terrell, thank you for that question. I think living it is the most organic way that we can teach them. Having been called a hypocrite by my child, at least more than one child, parenting is just hard. It's just hard. But they'll call you on your stuff. And I think the most organic way is to just live it and to be honest with them. So my children have seen my evolution. They've seen my growth. To just be honest with them, like, yeah, I thought I knew what I was talking about before, but I was kind of misguided. So I apologize. And here's where I'm going. And I really am not at the destination yet. I'm still in process. So let's grow together. And just acknowledging the incredible human beings that they are, and all the knowledge and purpose that's already in them. Kind of treat our children like they're these empty vessels and we're supposed to pour into them. But actually, my children have been my teachers as well. And so I think just living it and being willing to say, I messed up. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm learning. I'm growing, and giving them that grace to do the same. I think that's probably the most organic way that I know of.
Powerful, powerful. I would second that. You got 5, I got 5. And the lessons that I learned, my oldest, who's 26, I told her recently the other day, she's going on 27. I told her the other day, listen, I was your age when I had you. I was doing the best I knew how to do then, but I've learned to do better. So subsequently, every kid after that has learned a little bit better from living. So parents being honest and living organically, I love it. And I would encourage everybody to not do the extreme. We try to do these extremes and we try to say, hey, we're going to create this incredible environment and we're going to push our kids. And it wasn't necessarily an environment we came up in, but we can go overboard on experimenting with our kids. So give our kids some grace, give yourself some grace, and recognize, especially if you're a young parent, you're doing the best that you can. Continue to work to live that and put that in. We've got Earl to reign in the place today with a good question. How do we get student athletes to balance their efforts toward purpose?
Earl, I don't know. Listen, all my children.
To be fair, Maddie, your son is a student athlete, and he was an achiever. He's been a high achiever. So,
all my children actually are student athletes. I have a couple who are like incredible tennis players right now, and really great students as well. How do we balance their efforts towards purpose? I think as parents, we have a responsibility, first and foremost, not to put so much pressure on them. I remind my children, whatever happens on the field, whatever you do does not define who you are. You know, whether you had a great game and now they're writing about you in the paper, or you had a horrible game and you dropped the ball on a crucial play, that does not define who you are. And I keep trying to put in front of them what their purpose is. So we have certain rituals and activities that we do at the beginning of the school year, like we're about to start a school year now. We sit down and we create vision boards. Each person talks about what their vision is, what it is they're trying to do, and we try to balance it out. So we're not just talking athletics or academics. We're talking spiritually, we're talking physically, we're talking about their emotionally, their relationships with others. And just making sure that they understand that they are not one thing, that their life should encompass a variety of things, and also for them to see me living it out, to see their dad living it out. But we have those conversations, not nearly probably as much as we should. But the one thing I know that I'm consistent with them about is, this thing does not define you. This A does not define you. This, I'm a star athlete does not define you. You were created for so much more than this, and this is just one way. And another thing that I do is I try to get them to read biographies or watch a documentary or something. So you look at a Paul Robeson and what he did with his life, and he was certainly a star athlete, but that definitely was not all that he was, and everything else that he accomplished. Or we look at what Allison Felix has just done, right? But she now has her business. She's a mother. She's encouraging other women, and she's the most decorated, athlete in track and field in the history of the United States, I believe, is what is the information that's being put out. But her purpose is so much more than that she ran track, right? And so giving them the examples of other people. Althea Gibson, I made my children who play tennis read Arthur Ashe. He was so much more than a tennis player. So that they can see what others before them have done as well.
Awesome. All right, let's roll through. We got Bonnie Boucher in the house. Shakia, question is, how do you keep your ship afloat when it seems as if it's sinking? I'm learning sometimes people can put you in one box when you have more to offer, so it feels like running in place sometimes. How do you break out of that box? When you feel as if you're sinking, what do you do to break out of the box?
I sink sometimes. I'm just being honest. There just been times when I'm like, let it be what it'll be. And literally, my ancestors have had to come and just like hold me up and keep me afloat. They're just those moments. So let me go back to it and be serious here. How do you keep your ship afloat when it seems as if it's sinking? You plan ahead and know that there are going to be times when your ship is going to be attacked and will feel like it's sinking. So again, I have tried to build relationships with people who I know, or I hope that when I'm in that in dire straits, I can call on them. And at least for a moment, they can give me that mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, or they can patch my boat, or they can do just a little bit to keep me going to the next moment, when I can get myself together. And I do that again by being for others what I know I may eventually need. Right? So it's like you plant and you store, because one day you might need that. We talk about rainy days, things like that. So that sinking ship feeling is going to come to everyone, especially if you don't just stay in harbor and you actually venture out. But it's to what extent have you been there for other people, and hopefully then you just need one. You don't need 10. I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people I'm friendly with, but I don't have a lot of friends. But typically, there at least will be one. So I just had a flat tire in Washington, D.C. Crazy. 7:30 at night on a busy street. I'm like, oh my God. And my battery on my phone was about to die. I looked and I was like, okay, what one person can I call who I believe will show up? And I called, and that person showed up and fixed my tire and got me off that street. So, but I think he showed up because I've also shown up in his life. So, yes, that's what I would say, Sister Bonnie. But in the meantime, I send you love. I'm wrapping you in love if that's a place where you are right now, where you're feeling like you're sinking, because I've been there.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. I love the tools going in there. We're going to put, if there's a website to reach you, Sister Denise wants to know, we're going to put up your social so people can follow you, because it connects them rather to you. And I'll put that up briefly on the screen. That's her Twitter handle. If you go to that, if you find her on there on Instagram, you will find her. You can technically Google her because she's internationally known, but that's how you find that. AyaEneli.com is also her website, and that's AyaEneli.com, just like the name. Go and visit her. Like many of us, we don't often check our websites daily. As you know, I'm coming back to this about reading the bio. We don't often, and Sister Aya especially doesn't often spend a lot of time looking at her own bio. Which is a good sign of somebody who's doing well in the world. But I've got a question coming in, and we'll come back to wrap it up because we're almost at that point. From Sister Michelle, who says, how do you stay courageous while pursuing your purpose, even when the outer world looks like things are not happening? When you see you can't really judge if it's happening right then, how do you keep the mindset of belief and knowing that you're on purpose and in flow? Great question.
Y'all are coming with the tough questions. Okay, ancestors come through. How do you
Welcome to Infinity.
I know,
we got
right?
some thinkers on the stream. They don't play. They like, if I got an opportunity, I'm getting it.
Amazing thinkers. Okay, so you said, how do you stay courageously while pursuing your purpose, and even when the outer world looks like things are not happening? You know what? For me, it has been tapping back into that purpose. Just reminding myself. And for this reason, here's another tool: journal. And I'm not always the greatest at journaling, because sometimes I'm afraid of my own thoughts and I don't want to put them down because I don't want to come back to them. I'm just being totally honest. There are things I think and I'm like, someone might read this after I die, or worse, find it while I'm alive. I'm not writing that down. Because ego, right? I want certainly my kids to see me as this amazing woman. And I am, but I'm flawed in so many ways. Okay, getting back to your question. Reminding yourself of your purpose, right? If I know that my goal is to inspire and to equip people to live up to their highest potential, to just live their highest selves, then I understand as well that the world does not necessarily want to see us all succeed, and certainly Black people succeed. And so I should expect pushback. I should expect detractors. I should expect people who are outright trying to take me out. And if we look at history, that is what has happened to our people. Truth tellers are rarely embraced, right? And so knowing that, it kind of emboldens me in that when things happen, although it hurts, it's not like, oh my gosh, I never expected this to happen. If anything, I absolutely expect to be attacked, because I'm going to speak that thing that a lot of people don't want to speak, but that's what I've been called to do. So for me, it's always going back and reminding myself of my purpose, and then reminding myself that because this is what I was created to do, if I don't do it, my life would truly be miserable. And I might have to come back and do it again. And it depends on what you believe. And so why not go ahead and do that thing just like those before me did, and pay the price that has now allowed me to live the life that I live. I want to play my part and pay whatever price so that those who come after me have an easier route. That's how I look at it in terms of courage. Having said that, again, Sister Michelle, do I have my moments where I crawl under the bed, where I cry in the shower, where I'm in that dirt and I'm just like, can I just bury myself? Where I go in the water and I'm like, can I go under and never come up? I absolutely do have those moments. But I thank God I also have people in my life who'll be like, you matter. You matter. People like Rhonda Brown, who absolutely is on here, who came into my life, maybe 6-7 years ago, and has just become such a wind beneath my wings. So, sister, hold on. Michelle, don't give up. Hold on.
Awesome. All right. I think one of our final questions, sister, and then we'll wrap it up. And again, thank you for the time and the energy, and the reality is from Brother Infinitude. And I might give me the correct pronunciation. I want to make, because you make it all sing. You
got it right.
Okay, Infinitude.
Yes.
Who is also Dr. Infinitude, the wonderful spouse of Eneli, who has a great insight question. I love it when this happens. So I get this on the live stream with my wife. You get it right here today in the house. How do you overcome the why bother syndrome, where the people that you feel purpose to help or serve, oh my gosh, your husband is speaking to my spirit right now, where the people that you feel purpose to help or serve seem not able to see or not receptive, and the effort is seemingly overwhelming? Ooh, my goodness. I felt that question. Go ahead, take you a few deep breaths and put it in.
Yes, I needed to take a couple deep breaths on that, because I feel that. I feel the emotion behind that question. And even as I was feeling that emotion, what immediately came to mind is, what a privilege. What a privilege, what an honor to be called to serve and to help even those who, for whatever reasons, are not able to see or recognize or show gratitude. A lot of times when we serve, when we do, we may not necessarily be motivated by the gratitude, but we certainly desire it. But even if you were to take the story of Jesus and the 10 lepers, right? And the story goes, Jesus healed 10 men who were absolute pariahs, like could not enter society, nothing. I mean, life was miserable for them. And only one came back to say thank you. Does it make what, according to the story, he did for the other 9 any less relevant? No. Does it take away from who Jesus is, at least in that story? No. And so for me, it's a privilege to serve. Would it be great if people would, sing songs of gratitude and make sure all my bills are paid? Yes. Is that why I do what I do? No. Could it be that the people that I was called to serve are in such a place and are so traumatized that they cannot give me that which I desire? Perhaps. But I serve anyway. And so to my dear husband and anybody else who this question resonated with, just keep doing what it is that you've been called to do, and to know that nothing you do is in vain. Truly, nothing you do is in vain. I'll end with this. I'm at that point where I am planting seeds for my fall garden. Really should have started 2 weeks ago, but that's a whole other talk show. And what I've found over the years is I can plant 30 seeds and maybe only get 8-10 plants from it. But I don't know which of those 30 seeds will give me the plants. So I plant the 30 seeds anyway. But I really only need one of those plants to really feed, right? So the 8 plants is really overflow. So just serve and be grateful for the opportunity, and know that one of those seeds is going to germinate, is going to do something. And then you know what? You get one seed that becomes a plant. And how many seeds does that plant create? Like, your impact, my dear husband, is eternal. Your legacy is secure. Just keep doing what you do.
Yeah, you hear my wife in the background. She had to get up and run around the chair on that one. Everybody in here. Plant. I could do that one, Aya. That's plant the 30 seeds anyway. Plant the seeds anyway, because all you need is one plant, and everything else comes from that. Sister, I want to say thank you on behalf of the entire Infinity Fellowship family globally now, because of the digital space. I want to thank you and speak blessings into your life, the Eneli family, everything that you're doing, everything that you put into this world. Most importantly, I want to thank you for not sitting still. I want to thank you for planting the seeds anyway. I want to thank you for seeing the fruit from the seeds and being willing to share the fruit from what you have planted. There are a lot of people in today's age who want to share from spaces of no manifestation. Everybody's always telling people what to do. Here's the instructions, but they're not speaking from experience. You have given us an experiential window into your amazing life. And I know times can lead you into those spaces where you might feel as if you're on the ship alone or you're in the dark. But I appreciate your transparency as a teacher, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a wife, as a mom, as a genius light in this world, sharing that it's all about walking and living in purpose. And so the people out there who feel like, well, I just don't have the time. Look, I don't know how you find the time, because guess what? There's always time for you to walk in your purpose. You've done that. So we speak gratitude into your life. Thank you for taking the time to share with us today. The Infinity Fellowship is your family too. So if there's anything we can ever do, call on us and we're here. We love you.
Thank you. Love you all too. Thank you so much.
All right. Y'all give a round of applause at home. Snap fingers, claps, celebrations, whatever you give to Sister Aya Eneli. She has done it. This place in here is clapping. The staff is clapping. Plant the seeds anyway. Plant the seeds anyway. Plant the seeds anyway. What an awesome day. What an awesome moment. Take a deep breath to remember to absorb those things that you heard, those lessons that you got. Go ahead and allow your eyes to close to feel those lessons being programmed into your psyche and your DNA. Divine Spirit, we speak in this place today in a space of thanksgiving. Thank you for If Speak Sunday for an opportunity to bring in Sister Aya Eneli. For her life has given us new life here. I speak to those who are feeling as if they are sinking, that they will remember the lessons taught today. That those who are live and are on the replay will now find a new light in their life, a new opportunity to walk in and on purpose. We speak healing for those who are requesting healing to the spirit and the energy of Sister Lorraine Chavez, who is speaking today. Brother Phil spoke to her for restoration. We're speaking healing. We're speaking renewal. We're speaking restoration. We're speaking abundance into your life. That Spirit will tap into you and remind you that you are never alone. For those who have gone through the process of moving their ship from the safety of the harbor into the space where a ship is designed to go, keep riding, keep sailing, understanding that the Spirit is the wind beneath our wings. For those who have sought community, Thank you for welcoming them home today. Thank you for recognizing this space, Spirit, as a portal through which you can continually be accessed. Let us continue to move forward, reminding people that they are in and of you. And as we embrace purpose today, we embrace it with no fear. We embrace it with the confidence of knowing that we made an agreement with you before we came into these bodies, that we were going to come here and live our best life. So we embrace our best life right now. We embrace our life through the lessons. We recognize, as Sister Aya pointed out, that the acorn has the tree already within, just sleeping. Plant us in fertile ground today. Combine us with the pressure and the dirt that cracks the seed and moves us toward the light. Give us the strength to grow tall and strong and to produce fruit from the purpose that we put in this world. We accept this purpose today. We accept this good, and we are grateful. For these things and others that we cannot put into words, we say thank you. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Ashe. Take a deep breath in here with me, all. Hold that power. Exhale and let it go. How y'all feel? Y'all feel good in here? I feel good in here. I hope y'all feel good at home. Thank you for joining us for the Infinity Fellowship today. As we play our closing songs on first and second Sunday, the Voices of Infinity sing with us. Third Sunday, we play it along so that you can move along in that same groove of vibration. But as we prepare to move forth into the world that awaits our light, we give thanks to everyone here who makes Infinity a special place. Thank you to the technical crew, to Joshua, to Alicia, to Tony, to Sister Kanitha, the Voices of Infinity today. Next week is Yoga Sunday, an opportunity for you to work on your heart chakra. Pull your mat out. Join me at 10 a.m. This is what we do. Welcome to your new spiritual community. For those of you who I'll see this afternoon at the school bash, back to school bash, we got some supplies for your kids. I got my sage in Palo Santo. I'm going to speak a blessing over whichever children show up for us between 2 and 4, babe? 2 and 4. So we're in that space today. Also, check us out every Wednesday on the meditation call at noon. It's free. Space to center yourself. We love you guys. We thank our speaker today. We miss you guys. We'll be back in person. We're working on that. To those who have not checked their email, check your Gmail spam folder and your social folder. There's a membership survey you've done a great job getting out. We want you to finish that survey up so that we can figure out how we can get back in person safely. But in the meantime, wear your mask. Trust the science. Let's move this world forward a little bit. So, we speak in this place as you close your eyes that the love of God, the power of the ancestors, the infinite cosmos, rest, rule, rock, and abide with you from this moment forward. We say together, Amen, Amen, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. Till I talk to you next week, this has been Rev Jeff reminding you, when you get information in, it does become knowledge. When you take that knowledge and put it into practice, in action, that's when it becomes wisdom. I love you guys. And guess what? That's a fact you cannot change. Peace, love, and blessings. See you later.